Eating fat doesn't make you fat in and of itself. Eating fat, as opposed to a protein or a carbohydrate, we've been educated to understand that fat is dense and has more calories per volume. That's a good thing because on our body we would have needed to store the fat in a compact form because we needed to wear it all winter long, and we didn't need to carry around this massive, huge load. Carbohydrate actually means water-loving carbon, so it swells and takes up a lot of space. So it's very high in volume. Fat is very small in volume, which means a little bit of fat has a lot of calories, but also a little bit of fat has a lot of satiety if it's the right kind of fat. So when we eat fat in our diet, we're less hungry. So our hunger was always in balance with the food that we were eating. Now we're hungry all the time, and part of that reason is that we're not getting the amount of the kind of fat that we need. Most people are getting fat in their diet, but they're getting the wrong kinds of fat. For example, they might be eating a lot of these processed vegetable oils, which would not necessarily satisfy the need they have for their brain health. We've diminished the amount of saturated fats and put in place trans fats. These are chemically altered fats to look and appear like normal animal fats and have the mouthfeel and appeal to us because our brains were evolutionarily shaped to look for these kind of things in the environment that would have been very good for us. So we are looking for things that taste very good, but they aren't necessarily very good for us. So most of the people who come to me, they're having a problem with their body composition. So they want to be less fat. So the first thing they do is go on a diet that reduces calories. And because fat has more calories per unit amount than carbohydrates or protein, then the first thing they do to reduce calories is reduce fat. But it doesn't help because they stay hungry all the time, and because carbohydrates absolutely are designed to help us store fat on our body, and protein, after you eat the amount that you need for your building blocks, which is just a small amount of protein, and you don't even need to eat it every day. You can, but you don't need to. That gets converted into sugar, just like it does in animals that don't eat any vegetation at all, carnivore animals like the big cats and wolves and things like that. Then their body, their liver has to convert protein into sugar. Our liver converts protein into sugar, and that sugar isn't used, it's stored as fat because it's extra. We already were getting plenty of sugar. We don't need more sugar. So extra sugar is stored as fat, whether it's sugar from the food that we're eating or it's sugar from the protein we're eating that's converted to it. So we need some fat, but it has to be the right kind of fat, because fat that's the wrong kind of fat just adds calories to our diet, and that will increase, that will also go to fuel stores. So fat can make you fat, but it isn't what makes you fat.